Almost no one had what Whitney Houston had, a talent so big that fans in the millions gave their hearts not only to her songs, but to the woman herself. This weekend she was preparing for music's biggest night of the year, the Grammys, where she had won so many times before, but it wasn't to be. Tonight, her journey in her own words and through the eyes of some of those who knew her best. It's as if the world lost its voice, one fan said, and what a voice it was. Whitney Houston, a sweet and soaring melting pot of gospel and soul, silenced at 48.
Thank you so much.
Last night, alongside the celebration of Adele's big win at the Grammys,
Heavenly Father, we thank you for sharing our sister Whitney with us.
The industry mourned the loss of the woman with the golden voice.
Amen.
No matter what they take from me.
And tonight, fans in Los Angeles held an emotional vigil, while her body was flown on a private jet from L.A. back to Newark, New Jersey, where she grew up. There, mourners have been leaving flowers and candles outside the church, where she first sang in the choir as a little girl. A choir her mother directed. And tonight in Charlotte, North Carolina, the Queen of Soul,
one of the greatest singers that has ever stood before a microphone,
and Whitney Houston's godmother, Aretha Franklin, remembered her. Meanwhile, today in Los Angeles, the coroner's office ruled out foul play, but they said the official cause of her death will not be known for weeks, pending toxicology tests. But a picture is starting to emerge of what Houston's last days were like. Just last Tuesday, she was working on songs for her upcoming film, Sparkle, with producer Harvey Mason Jr.
She seemed great. She was upbeat, very optimistic, very excited about the project.
But on Thursday night, Whitney Houston danced and partied at a Hollywood nightclub. Pictures show her sweaty, disheveled, one leg bloody. Friends say she was drinking champagne. And on Friday, Houston was seen skipping around the Beverly Hilton lobby, somersaulting at the pool. Again, her clothes in disarray and her hair wet.
She looked bad. Her clothes didn't match. Some people said she smelled of alcohol.
On Saturday, Houston was in her room at the Beverly Hills Hilton, preparing for a performance scheduled for the music business elite at Clive Davis's pre-Grammy party. She talked by phone with her cousin Dionne Warwick and her mother, Sissy. 30 minutes later, her body was discovered by one of her staff members in her hotel bathtub. They called security and 911. She was pronounced dead at 3:55 p.m.
Whitney Houston, simply put, had the greatest voice in the world. She was a gift from God.
With a crime lab van still lingering outside, it wasn't long before celebrities gathered at that same hotel for Davis's annual Grammys party. This year, the celebration turned to eulogy. A heartbroken Davis had a special bond with Houston, who was still a teenager when he first discovered her, nurturing her in good times and in bad.
Whitney was a beautiful person, and she had a talent beyond compare.
I think Clive is really, really, really devastated.
Veteran record producer David Foster was at the Clive Davis party. The producer of 3 of Houston's 6 Grammy wins, I spoke to him this afternoon. So talk to me a little bit about the first time you met her.
The first time I met her was, with Clive when he gave that big party to introduce her. She was 18. I came in from the back of the room, and I saw Clive, and right beside her was this beautiful body from the back in this gold dress. But I just remember going, wow, could that possibly be the girl that Clive has been talking about? And sure enough, she turned around and glowing. Whitney was such a star that you knew she was in the room even if you didn't see her.
On Sunday, Bobby Brown, Whitney's former husband, flew to L.A. to be with their 18-year-old daughter, Bobby Christina, who was so distraught she was taken to the hospital by ambulance and subsequently released. Meanwhile, at the Grammys, Jennifer Hudson offered up a tribute to Houston of her classic, I Will Always Love You.
And I will always love you.
There was a sense of destiny about Whitney Houston's career. Back in 1993, Barbara Walters talked to her about it.
Did your mother want you to be a singer?
She had no choice. I was singing by the time I was 7 years old. I knew that God had given me a gift. You know, I was very, very shy and very to myself. And I mean, in high school, none of the kids knew I could really sing.
Could she ever, as the world was about to discover?